It is good for the heart to be strengthened by grace, not by foods, through which those who were so occupied were not benefited. Hebrews 13:9. From a young age, eating disorders have concerned me. As I worked at the YMCA, I always heard young girls talking about their body image and images they had seen in the media. I've also seen and struggled to help a friend who suffers with this condition. And if this condition affects all ages, races, and genders. I believe that eating disorders are becoming more and more popular and overlooked by the public. It goes against God's values to value yourself and human life, and that the government and established eating disorder organizations need to come together to increase awareness and help prevent this issue by prohibiting stimulus to this disorder, such as media projection of the ideal body. I believe that eating disorders prohibit those suffering from it to lead a God-filled life as God intended it to be lived. To help with this, I believe the government should team together to increase awareness and prohibit known stimulating actions to the onset of this illness. This will satisfy God's values of life and His authority over our bodies and help those who suffer to return to life as God intended it. Problems with eating disorders vary. Eating disorders affect over 7 million girls in the United States alone. A main cause is the portrayal of an ideal body in the media. Eating disorders have increased 400% since 1970. 80% of 9-year-olds are on a diet, and 69% of American girls admit that the idea of a perfect body comes from magazine images. Eating disorders also cause additional medical conditions, such as anemia, kidney failure, and erratic heart rhythms. Some solutions to eating disorders include turning to God. A great example of turning to God is the story of Troy Ronas. He was a confident class clown who did well academically in high school and in college, but slowly lost control to the need to exercise and diet. His friends and family began noticing, but it was not until a physician finally said that he only had weeks left to live if he did not change. At this time, Troy turned to God. The Bible verse, Philippians 4:13, helped him through his toughest days. Today, Troy has recovered and now puts his efforts to helping those already suffering in the prevention of eating disorders through his website and community visits. Also, government should enact laws to prohibit further negative media. A great example of this is the Australian government. In 2010, the Australian government took initiative against negative body image in the media. They enacted a voluntary code to stop photoshopping and create new size for model. Although this is voluntary and relatively new, it is a step in the right direction. The benefits of increasing awareness and prevention. Increasing awareness and prevention of eating disorders promotes God's values of human life and His authority over our bodies. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Romans 12:1. Increasing awareness and prevention of eating disorders will also help protect future girls and young adults. It will also benefit those who are already suffering from this condition by helping the public to understand and become more active in noticing and treating eating disorders. The rapid increase is not only against God's values that we live by, but a dangerous trend that is stimulated by negative messages and images in the media. If control efforts are not taken, it will continue to spin out of control. I believe that although eating disorders are becoming more and more popular and overlooked by the public, it goes against God's values to value yourself and human rights, and that the government and established eating disorder organizations need to come together to increase awareness and help prevent this issue by prohibiting stimulus to this disorder, such as media projection of the perfect body. Finally, I would like to return your attention back to the Hebrews 13:9 scripture. It is good for the heart to be strengthened by grace, not by foods, through which those who were so occupied were not benefited. Having God in life is more filling and more pleasurable than any amount of food, and is more rewarding than any ideal body. God values a body that is filled with His grace.